After these steps, you'll be able to streak without any crazy gear, skills, or renown upgrades. And I will even give you multiple ways of streaking for your specific goal while doing it. There's actually a way to streak without needing to put in too much effort, which I'll be showing you at the end of this video. I will be assuming you do not have any late game items or perks. So let's start off with step 1, perks. I am only going to be naming the good perks, so if you do not hear a certain perk, do not worry because you're probably not going to want to use it anyways. And I will only be discussing the perks for prestige 0 to 5 players. So if you are a higher prestige player than that, you're probably still going to want to watch this part because there's some important information for everyone, but you might have unlocked a new perk that I have not discussed here. As for the healing perks, you want to go on ahead and start off with golden heads. It's basically the first perk you're going to unlock, and it's also one of the best perks to unlock as an early game player. It turns your golden apples into golden heads, which are just better and are instantly consumed. Once you hit level 70, you might want to use the vampire perk that you have unlocked then, but for some cases this is not the case. It really depends on what gear you have, what playstyle you have, and where you fight, depending on which one of these two you choose. Vampire heals you more during battle, and a golden heads after you kill the player, so you really want to decide for yourself what to do here. As for the defense perks, you have Gladiator, which is really good if you're in crowded areas. So if you're in middle and there's a lot of players around you, Gladiator will give you more defense depending on the amount of players surrounding you, and so in this case that would be the best to choose. But there's an even better option, Dirty, though Dirty is only unlocked at Prestige 2. It gives you resistance once killing a player, so if you are in a crowded area and you're killing a lot of players, then Dirty is better than Gladiator. We also have Bonk, and this one is actually good in almost every scenario except for 1v1s. If you do not really know what perk to choose, then Bonk is an all-around safe option. Then we have Safety First. Now if you do not have a helmet, this is a must-have. If you do have a helmet, you do not need it. That's basically it. It just gives you a chain helmet. Let's head over to the damage perks. You have Strength Chaining, which if you get a kill, you get a strength buff that stacks up, but if you do not kill someone within 7 seconds, then you will lose the buff, and thus you have to redo the whole chain. This is really good for streaking and killing a lot of low-level players. Then you have Bounty Hunter. Well, Bounty Hunter is good if you're hunting people with bounties. The higher their bounty, the more damage you do. Then you have First Strike, unlocked at Prestige 5, so this is only for the Prestige 5 and up players, but it's really good because it increases your First Strike drastically. Then we have Barbarian, and this is really your own playstyle. It replaces your sword with an axe that does a little more damage. If you like it, then choose it. If not, then don't choose it. It's really up to you. Then we have some miscellaneous perks. First off with the Fishing Rod. Now, there's only one scenario in which this is good. You are a really low prestige player. I'm talking prestige 0 to 1 maybe. And you are really good with the Fishing Rod. Then we have two for if you're going to XP grind. You got Streaker, which gives you triple streaking XP, and streaking XP is XP given every now and then. So if you hit 3 kills without dying, so a streak of 3, you get streaking XP. And this is then tripled by the Streaker perk, and you get extra streaking XP when you hit 10 kills, etc. So if you're doing long streaks and you're capable of that and you need XP, then definitely choose the Streaker perk. The other one is Olympus. Olympus is unlocked at Prestige 4, a little more later on too, and this is if you're still having a hard time killing people, although I'm trying to teach you how to not have a hard time with it, so you probably won't after this video, but if you still do, then if you are going in the outskirts of the map and you're just killing a few players every now and then and you need XP, Olympus gives you a Olympus potion as soon as you kill someone instead of a golden head or golden apple. That will give you XP and a few extra buffs. Now let's head over to step 2, the most underrated tip I could give you, and it is to know your battlefield. It basically means know who to kill and know who not to kill, know where to go and know where not to go. For example, I'm going to give an example of what I do sometimes. Sometimes I see that someone is hunting me, and hunters a lot of the times are really good players. So most of the time what I do is, oh, do you want my bounty? All right, I'll give it to you for free without needing to try and kill me and having a hard time with it. as long as you leave me alone for now until I hit a high streak, and then I'll let you kill me and claim my bounty. So then you're basically paying sort of for a truce with this player, and that sometimes is just the better option. Now let's head over to step 3. Gear, probably the most wanted step to, learn about. What gear should I use? Well, I'm going to start off with a really important item that a lot of people miss, and it's the first aid egg. It is a item shop item that you can buy there, but it has to be unlocked. And this is only for Prestige 5 players. And so if you do not have this unlocked, what I really recommend doing is just buying them from other people. I recommend buying them for 400 gold each, and you only need one. It is lost on death, but you can reuse it as you battle. It heals you 2.5 hearts once you right click it and can be used every 30 seconds. As for the chestplate and boots, it's simply diamond armor, just diamond chestplate, diamond boots. As for the helmet, well, it depends. If you have a helmet, use it, of course, and if you don't, then just use the safety first perk. For the leggings, you have quite some options. You can just do a fresh mystic pants. Mystic pants are those colored leather pants. They are as strong as iron, and they are not lost on death. That's probably the cheapest option you could choose. Then you have diamond leggings, which, well, are lost on death and are around 1000 gold, so that's a little bit more expensive. And the third option is an enchanted mystic pants. Now, there's actually quite some enchants that are overlooked by high prestige players because they just simply don't want them, but are still really good for you. And so you want to try and snipe those specific items with those enchants that you could definitely use, but they couldn't, for cheap prices. Same goes for the sword. You can use a diamond sword, but you can also use a mystic sword with some enchants that are overlooked. They're underrated, but for mid-game players, they are good, and that's what you're going to try and look for. And as for the bow, it's literally exactly the same story, especially with the mystic bow, because mystic bows are really cheap. There's only like a few enchants that get really expensive, but then the rest is almost dirt cheap. So yeah, really try and snipe these. Some people even throw them on the ground. Maybe go ask around if anyone has some trash items, and just look through them. Some of them are really, really trash and you just don't want to use them, but some of them might surprise you and actually help you out. And that's basically it. What I also can recommend is a second bow, one for regaining arrows. There's like an enchant that gives you extra arrows, and the other one for fighting. But stuff like that, you can just adjust your setup, and it doesn't always have to be expensive. Now, step 4 is a pretty obvious one, but it's your battle skills. I mean, it is a PvP game mode, and if you're really bad at PvP, then I recommend that is something you could improve in, but it's not essential. One good tip I can give you about it though is make sure you place yourself in a position where you can hit them, but it's hard for them to hit you. There's a lot of ways to do this. I'd recommend you search up some guides on how to battle in 1.8.9. Now, at the start of this video, I was talking about this golden tip to streak without much effort. And before I get into that, we all know streaking costs tireless clicking. Like, it takes a lot of clicking. But subscribing only takes one click, and with the guides I provide, it will indirectly help you with streaking. For example, this golden tip right here. Mystic items are going to make your life easier and are essential to know about. So make sure to check this out.